Hello again, and today I'm going to be coming at you with kind of a lighter commentary, something that's been brewing in my reserve of ideas for the week. I kind of wanted to leave you guys with just 2 videos before I started up strong on Sunday for my month of Star Wars content, but at the last minute, one of these ideas that I really wanted to talk about just came into my brain, so I'm going to strike while the iron's hot, and we're going to talk about political books today. We're going to talk about the book hawking of the kind of establishment, left and right figureheads, because I got to be honest with you, I find this kind of mentality of being a personality to be quite antiquated. It's quite literally a boomer strategy to release political books nowadays. It's not like the way it used to be, when we're talking about shit like Machiavelli's The Prince or John Stuart Mill's On Liberty. It initially was, at a certain point, that books were the fastest way to spread political ideas. And, how did Thomas Paine's Common Sense get around so fast? Oh, yeah, it was the fucking printing press. Once that opened up, and, you were able to print at a much faster rate than you were able to replicate one manuscript, then, the books started coming faster and faster. But, we're in a new media age. We have television, we've had movies, we have radio, and now we have the internet. And books are now just relics of the past when it comes to spreading ideas. They are the slowest form of spreading political ideas. And the only people who I see being interested in political figureheads' books are older people. So, that is the market that you now cater to, or the older people. But if you want to spread your ideas really fast, you gotta have a YouTube channel. You gotta start with a new media presence right away. And then maybe if you have like a story to tell, or you have some ideas that you want to pontificate on and elaborate and expand, then that's the time to make a book. Not, oh, you did great on MSNBC or Fox News, and therefore, how about we, Simon & Schuster, spiral that into a book deal? No, that is boomer fucking tactics. That is a boomer mindset. And with all of that being said, the book in the political section of the bookstore / library is now just a collection for these figureheads of their talking points, rather than being like a political treatise or a set of political ideas that you want to expunge onto the populate, that you want to expand onto the population. So, what I want to do before I get into the next point is I want you to go into like a Barnes & Noble or a Books A Million, and I want you to go to that political section, and I want you to see what kinds of books they sell that catch your eye. And maybe even in the comment section, report back in, but just as a kind of a fun thought experiment to see, like, what was the reason that you gravitated towards this book? Was it a political idea that they were expressing? Was it a personality that you like? Or were you not enticed at all and you just kind of looked at these things and it's like, oh yeah, it's this pundit's book for the week or for the year. And it's not like, again, it's not like how these ideas used to be expanded. They used to be like, oh, we are discovering, the politics of self-governance and the, beyond the monarchy. So there are all these kinds of ideas to explore and expand on. And now it's just like watching these people on their respective political spectrum channels. It's like watching a Malcolm Nance on MSNBC when you read The Plot to Kill America. It's like, it's just fucking his ridiculous, nonsensical, like CIA Tom Clancy plot of a fucking brain talking about things that literally didn't happen on MSNBC. Or it's like, watching Judge Jeanine Pirro talk about fucking I don't know. Because again, it's like these books are now built around personality rather than ideas. Or even better than just ideas, they're built around personality rather than like a political narrative that they're trying to solidify in, in written form. And as a result, the Amazon sales might be different when it comes to these books, but in the stores, these books do not sell the way they used to. Find me a fucking copy of What Happened by Hillary Rodham Clinton, and you'll be able to find me one. It's like really not hard to find some of these books that have Steam for like 3 weeks at the most. And then they linger. And then they linger. And then they get remaindered. Turned into beds for fucking caged animals. Like, this is the future of, political narrative making. It's not in the book form anymore. It is out there in the media, on your own, self-published content, not books. Books are now like the thing that you get to do when, your life is been really filled with lots of interesting stories and you found great meaning in what you did in your life and you want to share it to people so that maybe they'll be uplifted. It's not about your fucking boomer talking points of the fucking year. Okay? Like, this is obviously part of the political paradigm shift away from the boomer culture that has been coagulating since, like, I want to say the Reagan administration, that this kind of shit has really solidified. But, we are in the Zoomer generation now. We are in the post-millennial generation. And we need to realize that, like, if you want to say your talking points, that it needs to be done in an interview format. You cannot go around being this kind of fucking book hawk pundit anymore. The books are essentially over and done with. And we need to, again, close the book on them. Oh, man, the fucking book puns are everywhere. But in conclusion, I do want to start kind of tying this commentary up with the fact that, books are for boomers, essentially. You're not going to get young kids into reading political books. Unless it's like a fucking thriller. Sorry. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And, say what you will of, I miss the glory days, but, like, really, what were your fucking glory days? Just, like, lying in written form or lying on television for a living? Like, that's what I also want to just comment briefly on punditry before I go and let this commentary be done with, is just, what is the point of the pundit? Is it just to kind of play into this boomer political theater game where we all kind of sit down and listen to these people just pontificate endlessly for a living, and so that nothing gets resolved and nothing changes, and it's all because these people want to have a job for like longer than the issue would take to resolve itself with good policy crafting and good decision making? No, definitely, it's a result of them wanting to keep the gravy train that is money and politics going. And I don't want to sound too much like a progressive when it comes to money and politics. I believe, campaigns do need financing. I just don't think that, you should kind of continue your political career by not solving shit, because people will see right through you. And then, the money will stop coming altogether, unless, you're a certain powerful political crime family that I mentioned earlier. And by crime, I mean, political family, of course. But, so yeah, the era of the book is nearly dead and buried. It's just kind of dumb now how we're killing trees to make books for boomers. Oh man, it's super funny when it comes to talking about shit in the boomer mindset, but more importantly, the boomer framework. But for me, it's just a symbol of things are changing, and if you don't adapt, you will just be an angry, resentful boomer in that kind of mindset mentality of, oh, things are not just good as the way they used to be. But in conclusion, finally, the books have run out of words in them to kind of keep the engine flowing. Obviously, you get some good ones out there, like Tucker Carlson's Shit for Fools, the self-help book known as 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, I think was pretty good. One I read kind of 2 years ago was Listen Liberal by Thomas Frank when I was more on the left. And that was the kind of good economic argument for why the left failed in 2016. But, again, this is an old framework. You can find the shit that Tucker Carlson says in Ship of Fools in some of his broadcasts, in some of those clips on his Fox News YouTube playlist. So there's, obviously you can hear Dr. Jordan B. Peterson go talk for a really big chunk of change at some nice venue. Again, you don't need the book format to get your ideas out into the public. There are so many new avenues, and it's high time that we finally looked into them. So to all the boomers who are trying to sell books to kind of spin their political careers just a little further before retirement, you better tread lightly, because I don't think the book's going to last in 2020.